Hello everyone, and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's Board Report for the month of May. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with a look at a U.S. Supreme Court case from Missouri that could have national implications for school vouchers. The case involves Trinity Lutheran Church in Columbia. That church applied for a grant from the State Department of Natural Resources to resurface its playground. That grant application was denied because of a provision in the Missouri Constitution prohibiting the state from using taxpayer dollars to fund religious institutions. That amendment's known as the Blaine Amendment. The church filed a lawsuit, and now it has worked its way to the U.S. Supreme Court. The court heard oral arguments on April 19th. In the meantime, Governor Greitens announced his administration would allow religious institutions to receive state grants, such as the one administered by the Department of Natural Resources. The case is important for public schools in Missouri and throughout the nation, since the Blaine Amendment is often cited by MSBA and other public school advocates as the reason the state may not provide public money to support private and religious schools through voucher programs. Many states have such provisions in their constitutions. Should the U.S. Supreme Court rule in favor of Trinity Lutheran Church, the case likely would give more momentum to the voucher movement in Missouri and other states. The court's ruling is expected to be announced sometime in June. MSBA has a long history of opposing the use of taxpayer money to subsidize private schools, since those schools are not accountable to the public. Rising income inequality in our nation, state, and local communities has become a major issue for our public schools. But what can our schools do to significantly improve the chances of success for students who come from low-income backgrounds? A professor of education at the University of California, Irvine, Dr. Greg Duncan, has explored that issue in a new book called Restoring Opportunity: The Crisis of Inequality and the Challenge for American Education. He was on the University of Missouri campus recently for a series of lectures on the topic, and we had a chance to sit down with him for a conversation. Dr. Duncan says research shows charter schools and vouchers don't seem to have much impact on improving the prospects for low-income students. He says what really works are what he calls sustained supports in the classroom.
If the focus was on trying to improve the day-to-day learning activities of the kids in the school, teachers needed guidance with curricula and with coaching and professional development in how to pull that off, right? And in these cases, they had a very strong system of professional development. Coaches, weren't coming in and criticizing; they were coming in and helping. So it wasn't the idea that teachers just go into their classroom, close the door, and no one comes in. They had a culture where they welcomed people coming in, observing, giving them advice in how to implement things in a more effective way.
Duncan says if we fail to address achievement gaps caused largely by poverty, many students will continue to be at risk of losing their opportunity for success in school and later in life. Be sure your school board is represented at the MSBA Delegate Assembly on June 3rd at the Lake of the Ozarks. Delegates at this meeting will be discussing in detail a draft of a document consolidating MSBA's 3 existing advocacy documents into one. MSBA President-elect Jan Meese of Columbia has been chairing the committee charged with consolidating the documents, and she says the goal is to clearly articulate MSBA's positions on critical issues facing our public schools.
I think if we have a clear, concise message that we can give to our legislators or that we give to our lobbyists to help us achieve what we need for the success of our public schools here in Missouri, that was the whole purpose of this, to make it short, sweet, concise, and marching orders, more or less, if you want to put it in those kind of terms.
MSBA's Advocacy Committee and Executive Committee have been working for several months on the consolidation of MSBA's legislative resolutions, platform documents, and the Missouri Public Education Vision Project document. The June Delegate Assembly will be held during the 2017 Leadership Summit, scheduled for June 3rd and 4th at the Lake of the Ozarks. The event will feature breakout sessions on a wide range of topics, all designed to improve your leadership skills and help you make the best decisions for the students in your school district. Registration for the Leadership Summit is now open on the MSBA website. Nominations also are now open for the Paul Morris Community Service Award, sponsored by MSBA's foundation, Future Builders. This award is designed to honor current or past school board members who have shown a commitment to community service in addition to their service on the school board. Nomination forms are available in the Future Builders section of the MSBA website. The deadline for submitting nominations is June 29th. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.